Today, I'm sharing with you an insider view into Nannuoshan business, what we're planning for the future, what's in our mind, and how we've been sourcing tea and teaware in 2026. And if you're in Berlin, you have one reason more to watch the video. This is Nannuoshan. I'm Gabriele. We have so many videos on the pipeline, videos that I recorded this spring when I was in Asia traveling around sourcing tea and teaware. I'm really eager to share all that stuff with you, but I have to be patient and wait. Why? Because think about watching a fantastic video in a new tea garden, or me visiting a teaware workshop where I source teaware for Nannuoshan. Then you like those stuff, you go in the shop and it's not yet there. So while I'm waiting for the future to present you the past, I thought doing a video about the present, about what is right now in our mind at Nannuoshan, what we're planning for you, and also some maybe more business inside stuff and thoughts we have that we usually don't share with the public. But well, I just came back from work. I wanted to have a tea, and I thought just putting the camera in front of me and sharing some of the thoughts that I had on the bike on the way to work this morning with you. First of all, where to start? I could start with sourcing, which has been unique this year in the sense that I think it's the first year where in a single, very long travel, I cover 4 different countries for sourcing tea and teaware, but that's bringing me back to the past. So let's speak about the present. One of the compelling, really, thoughts that I have at the moment is what to do with the Nannuoshan studio in Berlin. Why? Because, just because, Nannuoshan is getting bigger and bigger, and this is not bad, but it's a change, right? And when you increase in size, it's always a question, how do you adapt to that? And we have been changing the studio quite a while, going from a very tiny one to a bit larger, multiple rooms and so on. And now it seems there is the time for another change. I'm saying it seems so because I would say we could stick to the studio we have, but speaking to our colleagues in Berlin, those that are there for packing the tea for you guys and the orders, for dispatching the orders, I got the impression that we are reaching the point where having a larger space would be beneficial, because we are very well organized, but when you move in a smaller space, yes, the distances to go on the shelf and pick up the stuff are shorter, but at the same time, is also everything a little bit more difficult to access. Think about comparing your home or your apartment with the basement or the room where you put all the stuff, right? Like if you go downstairs in the basement and you want to search for something, it might take a while, longer than just opening a shelf at home where everything is a little bit more widely organized. So for that, we have started looking into different options. And this is only one part of the story, and another part might involve some of you, those that are into tea. I think most of you are into tea, and a bit fewer of you will be based in Berlin. If you are in Berlin, maybe what I'm telling now is for you, because I was thinking that our colleagues that go in the studio to pack order and pack tea, it's important that when they are there, they really can fully dedicate themselves to that specific activity. Like think about packing orders, for example. You go in the studio, you have dozens of orders to pack and hundreds of products to take from the shelves. You don't want to spend time in even searching for those products. They have to be there, easy to find, well labeled. You don't want to have problem with tea that is not packed. You don't want to have problem with office supply that you may need, like, I don't know, some tape or some cardboard boxes, and then you suddenly realize they are no more on stock. So um, I'm starting thinking, I've been discussing this with the team, to split a little bit the roles, like having really people that are dedicated to packing orders and packing tea, but at the same time also having someone, that might be you, helping us in managing the whole space. It is a low effort activity in terms of hours. I imagine something like visiting our studio every second week, like twice a month for 2-3 hours, just to do some key tasks that simplify the workflow of our colleagues when they pack order and they pack tea. And our studio is based in Eastern Berlin, so if this is something you would like to, it's a nice side activity connected with tea. Of course, you get all the benefits that all our employees get. Discounts on tea, for example, discounts on tea tours, or tea tours, that's something I have to talk about. Been there in a moment. And that's something that probably will take 10 hours a month at most of your time. If you're interested in contributing, drop me an email at gabriele@nannuoshan.org, and we will get in touch and I will explain a little bit better what we have in mind. Now, this is one of the aspects about the studio. And the other aspect I just mentioned, the tea tour. While I was traveling in China, sourcing tea and Teaware, I mentioned over multiple countries, I also accompanied some of you on a tea tour. And the tea tour was mainly in China and also in Hong Kong. And I've been asking at the end what would be the next destination people would like to go. It sounded like that among those 15 tea lovers that participated this year, they actually indicated Taiwan as the next destination they would like to go. So I would like to know also from you guys what you would like to do. If you think about coming next year with us to some tea plantation regions, where would you like to go and why? This year's was about oolong, so I think the participants were a little bit biased to go to Taiwan. Nonetheless, Taiwan is not only oolong, there is also quite a little bit of black tea and certainly also pu'er. I have to come to that point also in a moment. So let me know in the comments below, where would you like to go with us on the next tea tour 2027. This is something that I really would like to organize this year. I will collect those opinions over the summer, and then probably in September I will become more concrete about the organization. Berlin Tea Festival, speaking about Berlin, or whether you are in Germany or even in Europe and you would like to travel there, November 7th and 8th, 2026. We just got confirmation that we got a spot there, so if you want to visit us, and not only us, there are so many tea shops and also single persons, I would say, sometimes, that have their own business. So it's not really big shops, but they're really great tea, because my suggestion is always go to small realities. Yeah, that's where you find the better teas, without speaking about anything else, right? If you just look at the size, usually like a treasure. In the small box, there is the treasure. And I'm happy to also suggest you other shops at the Berlin Tea Festival that I like, and where you could source some tea there. But you will find me there, and also a big chunk of the Nannuoshan team. I always feel this tip of too much, something we do here in the Western world, not so much in China. And especially when I'm multitasking, I don't think about it. Now, we've been saying tea studio when speaking about the tea tour. All right, what about all those videos out there? What we have been doing this year? What we have been sourcing for you? Honestly, I really don't know where to start. I think I'll go in order. So China has been, I would say, a classic tea sourcing this year. Classic meaning that, like every year, we are been sourcing different new teas. So you will see some new teas, some new producers as well. but also the classic that we know you like over the years and we continue sourcing for you. So a little bit of a mix of both, like in every year. There is no particular single tea or teaware that I would like to mention that pops up in my mind, but I have to say, only in China I've been sourcing more than 100 teas this year, so it's quite a bit. And we have been sourcing also quite a lot of teaware, both restocking stuff that has been long gone from the shop, and also finding new artists and also more affordable, some more affordable teaware. So you will see some fancy stuff and also some affordable stuff as usual. Now, after China, there was Hong Kong, and Hong Kong has been a great time. It was a very short time, but together with the tea tour, it was the last day. It was not planned. We were there, and we were able to source 2 teas from Pak Shui Ching, and one of that is really a tea I've been longing thinking about. It was a success among the tea tour participants, and so I also bought it from Nannuoshan. That should come very soon, and it's not yet there, but it is a 2006 expensive. I mean, we're speaking about Pak Shui Ching, 20 years old, one of his most famous cakes. It will be expensive, but considering how many people bought it when we were there, I would say it's worth the price, not only for me but also for others. And then came Japan, and Japan this year for me was about, last year we really pushed on tea, and this year I really wanted to push on teaware. So everything was focused around Tokoname and Banko. I traveled there, spent quite a lot of time there visiting different artists, sourcing teaware, but it's not so straightforward as in China, or better, it is quite straightforward the initial part, but then until all that stuff is produced, manufactured for us, the shipping organized, it will take quite a while, and I expect that everything we have ordered will come to the US and to Europe in batches. So you will have to hold a little bit to discover all the teaware that we have been sourcing this year in Japan, but trust me, it's a new world for Nannuoshan. It's like opening a new chapter, and with that I come also to another aspect actually, and is how many products do we want to keep? Because I mentioned about expanding the studio, but also every tea takes room, takes space, and the same is for the teaware. And sometimes you have just a little bit of tea left, but it's still taking its spot on the shelf. So with that, what I'm going to do right now is to announce that when this video come out, and it is actually, I'm recording it just 2 days before, so it's just coming out now, we will release a massive discount, let me say 50%, I'm just inventing now, but I will stick to that, on a lot of teas that take space in the Nannuoshan studio in Berlin, but that I want to get rid of because I need that space. And why I need the space? Because we have some boxes, it's about 400 kilo of a net of tea that is arriving from China, and I just need space. It has already been shipped, so just in a matter of few days it will be in Berlin. We will unpack everything, and then slowly we will publish it. We were faster with Taiwan though. So about that 50%, just start navigating the website, and wherever you see, it will be very different teas. So I don't have a full list. If I will able to collect a list, I will write it in the description below. You will see if it is there. I cannot promise, but if it is, it will be at the top, and it will be a list with the T number, like let's say T134, followed by a name. What you can do, you can go on the top right of the Nannuoshan page where there is the search, and you just enter the T number. The T number will bring you in the search directly to the page with the T discounted. All right, now discounts apart, where we were. China, discussed, Hong Kong, kind of Taiwan. Taiwan this year was a kind of a multi-purpose, a multi-target, a multi-objective tour. I was alone there, but so no tea tour. I say Taiwan is maybe for the next year, but it was it was about poor. That's, I would say, it was top of the list. We got the contact of a collector, arguably one of the most renowned but not easy to find collectors in Taiwan. He has been starting collecting tea more than 40 years ago. Even the shop actually where they have opened now in Taiwan is 40 years old, and he started even before that, and he has a huge amount of pour. So I spend a lot of time drinking tea there, selecting tea, and I think some of those cakes will come out shortly and will be available shortly. It's classic Taiwan aged tea, and quite a few of those were also vintage first in Hong Kong before coming to Taiwan, and now to Texas and to Berlin, in the two Nannuoshan warehouses. Of course, soon on your desk. That's clear. Now, Taiwan, that was poor, but I also wanted to visit some of the farmers I've been starting recently sourcing from that I was not able to visit. So I visited Miss Su, that I plan also including in next year a tea tour if we go there, because she's one of the few that is really able to do high mountain tea without the use of any chemicals at all. She comes, and actually her father comes from agriculture first before actually being specialized in tea, and they were always promoting in Taiwan the avoiding use of pesticides, right? That, which is, it's not necessarily organic. It's even better than that, probably. Doesn't need any certification. You just renounce to all chemicals. And he has taken this as a challenge to start and to show the farmers that they can do high mountain tea without the use of chemicals, something that most Taiwanese farmers would say is not possible because the conditions up there are pretty extreme. Not so much about pesticides here, because at elevation you don't have a lot of pests, but it is about fertilizer that are needed there, because in high elevation the tea plant suffers a little bit because of the climate, and so pesticides are very common. Now, besides visiting her, I also wanted to explore some new regions. So I moved actually to the east coast of Taiwan, which is a region that I didn't know very well. And I tried my luck, and I got finally in contact with really interesting, I would say, farmer and activity. Is also really into not using any chemicals. I think is a little bit different than Misu, because he's really at just a family scale, right? And also the level of the business is a little bit smaller, and so this is also one reason why I wanted to support him and his wife. So they brought me to one of their garden, and as you will see in the videos that I'm really eager to share, it's very clear that they just take care of the plants, but they don't spray anything on those. You see how in between the bushes there is any other type of vegetables and also of plants, and also how the leaves are a little bit ruined in a way because they don't spray anything on them. And so it's not that I'm necessarily a 100% promoter of not using any chemicals at all. I think in the right amount, like in every agricultural practice, it's not necessarily a bad thing, in the right amount. But certainly when I find those realities where everything is really natural and the taste is there, that's really the best, right? It's not always the case. I remember years ago visiting in Anxi an organic tea farm. I was so excited, and the tea was just so bad. It was tasting like nothing, and I had to leave without buying anything. It wasn't pleasant at all. So that was Taiwan. And going back to Japan, yes, quite some time in Tokoname and Banko for a huge variety of teapot. I just hope that we will be able to get everything I order. And I can just simply tell you that I think I spent more than double in Teaware than I spent in tea in Japan, although I even expanded our tea offering, our Japanese tea offering this year, visiting a couple of farmers on the way from Tokyo to Tokoname, since I drove by car, so it was quite easy to stop by on the way. All right, yes, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you today. Tell me, yeah, what you, if you like actually those type of a little bit spontaneous videos where there is not a specific topic really I want to share, but it's just about, sharing some thoughts and a little bit about business, a little bit about why we decided to source a specific tea or teaware, or any other business insights you might like. I'm Gabriele, this is Nannuoshan, and I thank you for watching.